Well, it is another beautiful Tuesday, and today we're talking about happiness and how can we find that engagement, that way to really engage older adults, maybe even staff as well too, while we use, let's say, technology to actually benefit, augment some of those cool things that I'm a huge proponent of. And so our guest today has done something pretty interesting with, I think, some AI, some facial rec, some really cool things that I'm excited to dive into. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the ever wonderful Catherine Wells.
Now I have to be wonderful.
Yes, you do. That's right. Right. Pressure's on. Pressure's on.
Thanks a lot, Francis.
Yeah.
I can always count on you.
Yeah.
So we are super excited to have Roy here with us. And Roy is joining us from Israel, where it is 9 p.m. right now. And he has a 6-month-old baby. So he's also a new parent. So boy, thank you so much for making the time to hop on this podcast with us, Roy. We're glad to have you here.
It's my pleasure, my honor. I've been following the two of you like gurus of the older adult space. So it's really, literally a pleasure for me to, and thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm so excited.
We're excited to share with our audience what you're up to, because you're up to something really cool. So if you could share with our audience, tell them who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Sure. So it all started in 1984, back when I was born. But going fast forward 37 years, my entire life I've dealt with music. I've been in the music industry. This microphone gives it away. It's not like Francis's, but I think that it's pretty cool. Gives it away that I had a recording studio, a record label. This is what I've been doing for the, let's say, almost last 15 years. And so I've dealt with music, technology, and human emotions my entire life. And for me, literally, the moment that was like my aha moment, and this is also the reason that I started solo, my company, was the fact, very egoistic fact, that I wanted to be a better grandson to my late grandma. I wanted to make her feel happier, healthier, improve her well-being. And coming from a background of music business and rock star life and more, quite quickly I understood that if something can, make her feel better, it's music. And this is why and how I started solo, my company.
So you saw an opportunity where you could contribute to your grandmother's life and give her more quality of life, more joy in her life, more happiness. And then Definitely. You saw that working, and then what? What did you do with that?
So what we actually did, and I have the photo of this exact moment, and every time I give like a pitch, I present this moment in the first slide, and I'm so emotional about it. That was the first moment that I actually took like 2 pairs of headphones and iPod back in the days, iPod or MP3 players, and we went and we listened to music together, and it started from once every other month, and then once every month, once every week, and from 15 minutes to 30 minutes to 35 minutes. And literally it changed her life. So from a very non-technology, let's say, background or a value proposition or how we did it, it turned into something that I said, wait, but if she enjoyed it, maybe every older adults in the world must enjoy it. And this is how I managed to create this technology and take my background in technology, take my background in the music industry, and said, okay, we need to make something that everybody can enjoy in a very meaningful way, in a very simple way, to enjoy this benefit that is called music, and everybody can enjoy it now.
That's awesome. You kind of slipped something in there real quick, though, that I want. You said rock star in the music industry. What does that actually mean? I kind of caught that. I wanted to kind of find a little bit of that.
It's like skeletons in my closet. I don't look like it. Back in the days, imagine me with like an electric guitar, head banging, with earrings, with
head banging.
Okay.
Imagine the whole performance of me performing on stage and yelling my lungs off. So this was me back in 2000. Whatever.
That's awesome.
I loved it. Until now, my wife, she has pictures of me back in the old days, and I'm proud of it. I transitioned from a rock star into a high-tech entrepreneur, and I'm proud of it.
That's awesome. No, that's really cool. I think our backgrounds are so important, because what Catherine and I have always talked about is we want people outside this industry, that fresh idea, that fresh perspective from all walks, right? Whether you were a rock star to maybe an athlete to, I don't know, you worked in a completely different industry. The cool part is you're bringing such a fresh perspective that's giving us opportunity to reimagine the way we age and ignite that hope that tomorrow can be different and tomorrow can also be better. So I find that, just fascinating. I love that. The more, I would also encourage our audience, if you're ever hesitating about, should I get into this space? If you have a passion for it, but yet have never done it, reach out. I would be happy to mentor, give input on that, be involved if you want to find this journey to work with our older adults, because we need more creative, empathetic, and compassionate people to kind of help how we age. Because I don't know, for one, I'm going to ask you two here, I don't really want to age how we're doing it right now. I want to shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, no question. And bring in some other industries. In some cases, other industries have solved similar problems to what we're experiencing here. So it's really great to have the new mindsets coming in and going, hey, wait a minute, we solved something similar. I wonder if it would work. So I wish we had a picture, Roy, of you in your head banging. And so next time we'll make sure we get that beforehand.
Good luck.
We'll reach out
in an archive, my family photo archive. I just wanted to again say a quick comment on what you mentioned about new blood in the system. We work in Israel, in Japan, and North America. So we definitely see a lot of pain points that are similar across different demographics, different cultures. But regarding new blood, a lot of the people acknowledge the older adults, the aging population, as something that is not cool, not sexy. But we're here also to refresh that new look and say, listen, this is a very sexy, and we're not ashamed to say that. That's a sexy environment. A lot of new high-tech, new technology, artificial intelligence, all of the very nice buzzwords that from the high-tech world can be implemented as well on the older adults. And they love technology, and be bold about it and be colorful about it as well.
So perfect. That is so perfect. I love that. And so on that note, tell our audience exactly what Solo is. It is machine learning. It is AI. Explain that a little bit, because many people in our audience may or may not know what that is and how it works.
Sure. So Solo was created almost 4 years ago, and it's like the perfect personalized well-being assistant. So it's like having in front of you, and this is the means of artificial intelligence opposed to human intelligence. It's like having in front of every older adult, every resident, every older adult at home, 10 music therapists, 5 DJs, 3 mindfulness instructor in one simple technology, then can really recognize the mood levels, the energy levels of the older adults, match them with the right video well-being content, and I think we'll get into specifics soon, and really create a very meaningful experience that improves the mood, improves calmness, improves satisfaction for the residents, and really helps communities prove in a quantitative way how they improve the well-being of the resident. And that's a very meaningful thing. I think we all maybe seen the Live Inside video or get a lot of photos and videos of happy older adults. So we really turn it into a value-based outcome solution that puts it in a quantitative metric kind of way.
So that's fantastic. So Roy, can staff also benefit from using this technology, or is it just strictly residents?
So they definitely, and one of the best things about it, that when you give the training, the initial training or kickoff, it starts with, okay, let's give it to the resident, but somehow it turns out that the resident, the staff ask, wait, can I use it as well? Because I really need it. So that's the best thing about us giving a kickoff to the community. But see, on a serious note, it gives a benefit also for the residents, but also for the professionals in the community and the community itself. People speak today about, I think, 3 main challenges about the senior care: low occupancy, high turnover, and very high stress levels and mental health with the residents. So Solo can really help because it takes the artificial intelligence and it's here to prove that you're making your community happier. It's here to augment your staff in a way that Solo can become one of your staff members as a Wellbeing Assistant. And also, it's a personalized center care solution that brings happiness, science-based happiness to your residents. So it's both.
That's pretty cool. That's wow. That's
it really hits on like the emotional health, like you talked about with our residents as well as with staff. And that's staff at every level. That's not just the hands-on caregivers. I have many executive directors and administrators and directors of nursing who have said, we may look okay on the outside, but we're really not doing well. This has been a very hard time. So given that, and we saw some of that on your website, there's a little robot, it looks like.
Yeah, I'll bring that back up here.
Yeah,
That's
so talk to us about how that works and what happens if you're just kind of walk us through exactly if you're, let's say, a resident and you sit down and you put these headphones on, what happens?
Sure. So first of all, it's a no-touch experience, which means it's face-driven. All you need to have in order to use Solo is a face, and out of clinical trials that we did privately, we recognize that most human beings have a face. That's like a very common ground to start with.
Well done. That must have been a tough survey.
Yeah, it was a very tough. We went from nursing home to nursing home. We investigated. We saw they have a face. Then we can make a product out of it. So this is the initial thing. But the initial thing is that in 60 seconds, you're able to set up, onboard, and personalize the app to every older adult. What it means that Solo, in 60 seconds, scans your face. By the way, it's all private, HIPAA compliant, and more. We do not get any photos or any videos of any older adult. It scans your face and recognizes micro expressions. And this is something that you don't need to have a Joker face in order for us to see you're happy, but the dimples, the nose, the pose, the cheeks, everything. And then in those 60 seconds, we get a few things. We get, first of all, how you feel, how angry you are, how sad you are, how happy you are, how calm you are. And we translate it into mood and energy. So we know if you're in a positive mood, negative mood, high energy, low energy. All of this happens without touching the screen for 60 seconds. That's it. And afterwards, automatically, again, no touch required in the screen, we recommend you and play you your favorite tracks based on your emotion. So if you want to be calmer, we will play relaxing imagery of waterfalls and you can hear the water in the background. If you want more high energy, we can bring Stevie Wonder to uplift your energy and to really make you happier. And this is all based not on our musical editors, not on Spotify, YouTube musical editors. This is based on how you feel and how you react to the music. So after we analyze and recommend in 60 seconds, we then monitor what happens. So we were able to create this very innovative approach and have an emotional well-being dashboard for communities. So imagine that you're an administrator, and you can see in a simple web dashboard how happy are your residents, how satisfied are your residents, what's their stress level, and everything to compare it over time and in real time. So you can share with their families, you can use it in the care plan meetings, you can use it as a sales and marketing to attract new prospects. Everything of this happens with a very simple app and a web dashboard.
That's really cool. So, Roy, can I ask a question? I work a lot with those living with dementia. And so do they need to have any ability to touch the screen or anything like that? Or can I set them up basically with a headphone in front of the tablet device, whatever that may be, and they're good to go? Is it that simple?
It's that simple, Francis. All you need to really have is to touch and press your name. And this is something that the caregivers can do for you. From that moment on, Solo, the robot, speaks to you. He says, "Hi, Francis. Good morning. Good night. How are you feeling today? Let me capture your mood." And after those 60 seconds, I say, "Hi, Francis. I can see you're very calm today. Let me bring you more soothing music that will fit your mood and energy." That's it. We work with people, and this is important to say, this is not like a teenager app that we did like an adaptation for older adults. This is designed, and in mind, we have older adults from active aging, healthy aging, to MCI, dementia, severe dementia, and even palliative care in hospice care.
Wow.
That's really wonderful. And so sentiment analysis has been around for a really long time. Most people don't know that. So sentiment analysis, mainly based in natural language processing, where your sentiment can be detected from the words you're keying in or saying. Is there any voice analysis with this? You mentioned micro expressions, because facial sentiment analysis is much newer, but it still has been around long enough to be a proven technology.
Definitely. So we rely on a very simple rationale made by Dr. Paul Ekman that's called the facial action coding system. And that actually means that in every demographic, every age, every culture, even monkeys, those 7 main emotions are portrayed the same on your face. And that's quite amazing. And I can share that the reason that we chose the facial recognition and not the verbal recognition is because we want to target, you mentioned, Francis, people with dementia, people that are not verbal even. So again, we rely on the ability that you have a face. And that's all we need in order to recognize your mood and energy. You don't need more than that. And this is also the reason that in our app, we not only play the music audio-wise, but we also show you a relaxing imagery, the live performance by Stevie Wonder or Lionel Richie. So we combine this audio-video sensation to also create cognitive stimulation. And I just got back today, this morning, we started a very amazing project in one of the largest hospitals in Israel in a chemotherapy department of melanoma patients. And they want distraction from all of the noise happening in the hospital. They want to reduce the pain levels. So many things that the music brings, we can give them a tool that a person can enjoy it easy, fast, and really enjoy the experience and create also meaningful data for the hospital or the community.
I love that because I am a proponent of music therapy. We use a lot of that. And the benefit for someone living with dementia is amazing because of that auditory cortex is there. You know, even if other parts of the brain are shrinking and changing, the studies time and time again show that auditory cortex is there. And I don't know if anybody's seen some of the popular videos on YouTube, but someone that may be nonverbal, you play the right song, all of a sudden they could start to sing again. I mean, that is the power of music, which, you know, gives me chills to think about what we can do and you know, how we can approach this with a lot of creativity and a little bit of ingenuity and using some of that modern tech to bring some pretty interesting positive outcomes.
I witnessed that with my mom, who was exactly what you described, nonverbal. And The Sound of Music was her favorite movie. And they played it and she started singing.
That's
Hadn't
so cool.
heard a peep from her in a year. And
Wow.
she's singing. And so, I mean, the power of music is indisputable. And what you're doing, Roy, is really powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that with our audience. We like to ask our guests, who in your life do you consider to be a maverick?
Wow. That's a very good question. I can like share a personal story because we're getting personal after you not witnessed me being a rock star, but I've told you.
Yeah.
I think that my hero in my life is definitely my mom. She passed away 7 years ago. And she's the reason that I turned to this social activism or social entrepreneurship and decided that even when for 15 years, I did music for myself, for producers, for musicians, I need to give back and create a positive impact with the power of music. And she, for me, sadly, she didn't witness what I'm doing right now, but she's part of me in every lecture, in every pitch, and every day, really supporting the pathway towards improving the world with music and giving it to as many people as possible. So,
yeah,
that's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really important too. Catherine and I are very big on taking action and executing, right? So we always like to ask you, what action do you want our audience to take? Like, what can they do?
First of all, listen to music. But not only to music, I think that, enjoy 15 minutes a day of your favorite music. That's the first tip I give everybody, and I practice it myself, believe me, on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. So listen to music and be mindful about it. Really experience and sit with yourself for 15 minutes and try to visualize what the music is doing for you and relax. Take your time to reflect and take the time to enjoy, and take the time to really enjoy the power of music and foster it to your day.
That's
great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think a lot of us could use that self-care tip. I will do a little self-care recommendation right there by Roy. I think that is phenomenal.
I'll tell you, when I'm like cleaning the bathroom, I put my headphones on, my noise canceling headphones, so I can't hear anyone else. And I turn on my 80s music, because you were born in 1984, but I was graduating from high school in 1984. So I have my 80s rock playing, and I actually have fun, and I take a mental break. And I think that's at the very highest level, what you're proposing is that we're allowing people to take a break, but then also being able to help amplify the joy that music brings, and then measure that in a way that allows communities to provide higher quality of care to the people in their care. And I think that's the important part, because we're all in it for that, right? All of us are here to make an impact.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, you said very well said. I think this is impactful. And it's not impactful from the beginning. It's not a long time to make an impact. It makes an impact in that first 60 seconds, which is awesome. I mean, that is so important. So I think it's really cool that how fast and how quick this can impact older adults. It's not months on end of therapies. It's the first session can have such a positive impact. So how can our audience learn more? Get in contact, learn more about what Solo is, what Solo does, or even demo Solo.
Of course. So first of all, contact me. I offer a free demo with me to everybody who is interested to improve the lives of their community, to make their staff more productive, and make their residents happier. So if you want all of these things in a very fun, meaningful way, contact me. I'll promise I'll give you a fun, interesting demo in 15 minutes to enjoy personalized music with me. I promise a fun experience. And we have a website. It's pretty informative. And we're really excited about it. After working for the last 4 years in Israel, in Japan, we're excited to our journey to North America, and we come armed with a lot of fun, with a lot of innovative technology, and simple.
Cool. That is awesome. So I do invite, all of our listeners, check it out. There's a lot of benefit for those both living in communities, but I think living at home is equally as important. We've got that issue of isolation for some of our older adults. And so I do think it's really important to not forget about some of our older adults that might be living at home or living with spouses where the spouses themselves with COVID might not be going out as much and socializing. So keep in mind those older adults that are living by themselves or just living as couples, and the need for positivity, for happiness, and for all that desire to be connected. So I invite everybody to check it out, and also share your comments. If you guys want to learn more, feel free to put some more information. We're happy to connect you with Roy and his team and get you guys the information that you need to kind of give it a whirl and see what it can do.
Yeah, Roy, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to see you in September in Denver. I don't know that you'll be able to make it, but I'm going to put you on the spot here because we would love to have you at our event. So for our audience, in closing here, just a reminder that we have an event coming up September 16th and 17th, Collaboration in Aging. We have Teepa Snow. We have Louis Gravant, a former executive from Disney, talking about their customer service training. Lots of fun, lots of collaborative work, lots of putting on a different hat and exploring different roles and really understanding what other people in the room are experiencing so we can come together and really solve issues. So hope you can join us. Make sure that if you are going to register before the end of this month, because July 1, the tickets go up $200. So make sure you register soon. So Roy, we hope to see you there.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you for all that you do. We really appreciate it. I think you're, paving a great path, a path that is going to have a huge and resounding impact on all of us in some way or another, going to have an impact on all of us.
Thank you very
Absolutely
much.
agreed.
Kathleen and Francie, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure and very fun. And I hope to see you in September.
And I'm going to do some due diligence to find that photo. We are going to find a rock star photo, whatever it takes.
Go ahead.
It's got to be out there.
Well, thanks again. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Check out collaborationinaging.com, and we will see everybody next week.